See here. Coherent sources. I roughly told you, I'm just revising it once again. And it is very much required also basically for me. Now, coherent sources is nothing but I told you, any two sources of light continuously emitting the light waves and having what? Zero or a constant phase difference. So I'll write here right now. Any two sources of light, any two sources of light continuously emitting light waves having zero or constant phase difference are called coherent sources, or called what? Coherent sources. Okay, so they are called as of what? Coherent sources. Constant phase difference or the zero phase difference are called as of your coherent sources, are called as of your coherent sources. Now see, interference can only occur with the coherent sources better. Interference will never occur for your non-coherent part of relations. I can write even that point. I already told you this one. Interference can occur only with coherent sources. Only with your coherent sources. But two independent sources cannot be coherent, I told you, because even though they are emit the light of equal wavelength and equal amplitude, they may not have a constant phase difference. That is the reason two independent sources cannot be coherent. Two independent. Just a minute, beta. Yeah. Two independent sources cannot be coherent. Because this is already asked in competitive examination, beta. Because even though they may have, even though they may emit light waves of equal wavelength and almost all like of your equal amplitude they may not have what? A constant phase difference. They may not have right now for me what? A constant phase difference. A constant phase difference. This is already asked in competitive examination beta. Two independent sources cannot be coherent. They cannot be coherent because they may not have what? Constant phase difference, even though they have equal amplitude and equal wavelength part of relation part. Now, interference can only be produced by what type of I told you coherent sources part of relation. Now, in order to get equal wavelength, so they have to obtain the interference. To obtain the interference from a single source is being used, and its beam is being split into two parts. We have to follow. But like say for example, Young's double slit experiments. I'll write you that point here right now. To obtain interference. A single source a single source is used and its beam is split into in two different ways. In two different ways. Okay, in order to obtain your interference particulation, what I'm doing is right now a single source, whatever we are taking, a single source is being used and its beam is being split into what? Two parts in two different ways. What are two different ways? Number one, this is very important, beta. Number one, by the division of wavefront. By the division of wavefront. By the division of wavefront. In this case, wavefront is being divided into two parts, beta, by reflection, refraction, or diffraction, so that the two parts may reunite to a single angle and produce your interference particulation. So I'll write the condition right now. What is happening in the division is, in this case, a wavefront. You know what exactly is a wavefront? The locus of all the points which are in the same state of your vibration. A wavefront is divided. Wavefront is divided into two parts. By reflection, refraction, or diffraction. Or diffraction, so that these two parts, reunite at a small angle. Reunite at a small angle and produce interference. This is one way. Interference can be produced by the division of what? Wavefront. In this case, what we are doing? We are dividing the wavefront into two parts, either by what? Either by your reflection, by your refraction, or by your diffraction, so that the two parts reunite at a small angle. Theta, we are approximating it very small, so that it may produce your interference. The second method right now, for examples for this one, if I am writing better, some of the best examples which we will be doing in detail is right now for us, Young's modulus. Young's double slit experiment. Young's double slit experiment is one method by which we produce the wavefront by the division. Next one is known as of your Fresnel's biprism. This is also one of the experiment done by a Fresnel scientist. And another one is nothing but of your Lloyd's mirror. These are the three different experiments by which we can divide the wavefront. One will be doing Young's double slit in more detail. Fresnel's biprism and Lloyd's mirror is only for the mains and advanced part. It is not for your NEET exam. For NEET exam, it is only the Young's double slit experiment. We will be even doing the Fresnel's biprism and Lloyd's mirror for the JEE mains and as well as of an advanced part affiliation. The second way is right now by division of amplitude. Second one is division of amplitude. Okay, by the division of your amplitude. See what exactly is happening in this one. In this case, the wavefront is being split into two parts by partial reflection and refraction part at a surface, and these two parts are later made to reunite to produce the interference. That means amplitude is remaining same in this one. So what I am doing in this one, a wavefront is being split up into two parts by partial reflection and also as a reflection at a surface part deflection. and these two will be reuniting at the given surface, and they undergoes to produce the interference. That is the best method to produce the division. We'll try to do even this all in detail in the experimental part of relation. Just write this in this case. So in this case, a wavefront is split up into two parts by partial reflection and refraction at a surface. And the two parts are later made to unite and undergoes the reflection. The best example for this one is interference bands observed with the air wedges, Newton's rings. There are some of the examples for this one. So one is about your Newton's ring. Newton's rings. This is not in the syllabus for us. An interference observed by your air wedges. But to some extent for the JEE Advanced, we'll also try to do this one, and that is our least priority. Let us try to go for the first one, our important area for your competitive examination. That is about your Young's double slit experiment. First one. Young's double slit experiment. Okay. Young's double slit experiment. Young is the scientist name, beta. Thomas Young was the first time demonstrated the interference effect of your light. Thomas Young. I don't know what is happening to the board. Thomas Young, for the first time demonstrated the interference effect. Now see, the basic experimental setup is very easy in this one basically. So just try to listen it. This is your screen, beta. Okay, so this one is your screen, and in front of this one I'm keeping one more screen right now here. Okay, and small holes are being taken in this one like this. Okay. And here we are keeping a source. From this source the wavefronts are going like this. They touches them like this. So this is acting as of your source S1, and this one is acting as source S2. The distance between them is small d. S1 and S2 are known as of your slits, beta, and this one is known as of your screen, and the distance of this one from this one is at a distance of your capital D. Okay, now see what is happening is, from this one the wavelet, this is the central maxima right now, this is your central maxima. That means delta x for this one is 0, and it is known as of your central maxima, because all the rays will be converging at the center of this one. Some of the rays from your S1, I told you in the previous section of your class also right now. So what is happening is, some of the waves from this one is been moving in the front direction like this, and they meet somewhere at a point of your P. The same way, the another wavefront from this one is also going in the same direction, and meet somewhere at a point of your P. And the middle one, whatever I'm taking right now, this is your angle made by that one. A small angle, that is nothing but theta. Now see, what is the more distance in this one, beta? Can anyone tell me? What is the path difference between them? What do you mean by path difference basically? What is the path difference in this one, beta? That is nothing but distance traveled by the light waves. Distance traveled by your light waves in the given condition. Can you tell me what is the distance traveled by that light waves, beta? What is the larger distance? S2P minus S1P. So what is the larger distance in this one? S2P minus of your S1P will be your larger distance right now for this one, isn't it? So if I'm taking that larger distance and try to do the given conditions right now, so when two lights right now from this one, they are going. So Mesh has been raised the hand. Yes, beta. Ramesh, I've unmuted you. Chalo. Now, what is the path difference, beta? Like say, for example, this is traveling a distance of x1. This will travel a distance of your x1 plus some extra distance. That is nothing but of your delta x. Now, this delta x is right now how much right now for me? So, if I drop from here a small distance like this perpendicular right now. That means with respect to this one, this is making an angle 90, and this is making an angle right now here. This one is nothing but of your theta. So this extra distance is nothing but of your path difference. This is nothing but delta x, isn't it? So this is nothing but like cardboard. On that cardboard, we are taking the two pinholes, and we are digging the two holes right now. Say for example, S1 and S2. But S1 and S2 are being acting as of what? Two coherent sources. Now point P may be the constructive interference or destructive interference. The distance I am taking right now from here to here. Say for example, some y. Or some x also you can take, that's not a relation right now for me. And at the center of this one, delta x is always 0. That is known as of your central maxima. Central maxima. Now what is the path difference, beta? Can anyone tell me what is the path difference in this one? So path difference is delta x is equals to S2P minus of your S1P. So that will be equal to how much, beta? S2P minus of your S1P will be equal to how much right now? See from the figure. This is a distance D. If I take this diagram right now, we are seeing this is your D, and this one is right now making an angle theta, and this is nothing but of your perpendicular drop here, and this one is delta x. If this delta D is been resolved into the components right now, this D, here this will become for me D cos theta, and this will become for me D sin theta. Isn't it? So now delta x will become how much right now, beta, for me? Delta x will be equal to your how much for me? Delta x is equals to your d sin theta. See, these are two parallel to each other. So S2p minus of your S1p will be equal to your how much for me? S2p minus S1p is equals to your d into your sin theta. So this is your path difference. Delta x is equals to d sin theta. As theta is very small, I told you starting also, as theta is very small, so sin theta is approximated to your tan theta. So path difference can be written right now from this one. Delta x is equals to d into your tan theta. Delta x is equals to d into your tan theta. Therefore, delta x is equals to d. Tan theta from the figure you see, that is nothing but y by your capital D. So it is nothing but y by your capital D. See, tan theta from this one is vertical is y, horizontal is nothing but capital D. So delta x is equals how much for me? Delta x is equals to your d into your y into your d part of relation. That is nothing but of your path difference. Clear for everyone? So in Young's double slit experiment part of relation right now, the path difference is calculated by the formula delta x is equals to your d sin theta. As theta is very, very small, so sin theta is approximated to tan theta. So path difference, how much I'm getting? Delta x is equals to d into tan theta. D is nothing but what? Distance between the slits. Small d is equals to distance between slits. Distance between slits S1 and S2. Capital D is equals to distance of screen from slits, from your slits part of relation. Now I told you this point P can be a constructive interference or destructive interference. Now if I'm taking the cases right now for this one, right now say for example, if I'm taking a condition right now, if at P we are getting if at P we are getting a bright point, isn't it? Now, what do you mean by a bright point, beta? What do you mean by a bright point right now? Constructive interference. Constructive interference. If at your P, we are getting right now a bright point. You know what is the path difference for that one? So for bright point, we know for bright point from interference concept. For bright point, we know that delta x is equals to n lambda, path difference. Delta x is equals to n lambda. Therefore, delta x value is how much for me? D into your tan theta, that is equals to n into lambda right now for me. So right now I can write D into, this one is y capital D is equals to your n into your small d. So I can get the value of right now from this one y. So y will be equal to how much for me? N into your lambda, n into your lambda. So lambda kada, the y I have written right now. This one is nothing but of your lambda. Sorry. So this one is nothing but of your lambda. This one is also lambda. So it is nothing but of your n into your lambda into your capital D by your small d. So this will be the position of your bright point. That will be the position of your bright point. That means if the point P, if I'm taking it as of your bright point, that will be the constructive interference. So for the constructive interference, y will be equal to your n into lambda into capital D by your small d. Now see, for example, if n is equals to 0, then y is nothing but what? Point of bright ankunam kada. That is forming where? At what? 0. What is the 0 right now? See here right now. N is equal to 0 means this is your 0 right now in the given figure right now. In the given figure, this is your point of your 0. That means we get a central maxima. So at the center, we always get right now maxima. If n is equals to 0, y will be at your center. In the same way, if I'm taking your n is equals to 1, if I'm taking here n is equals to 1, then y will be equal to your how much for me? Lambda into your capital D by your small d. The same way n is equals to 2. N is equals to 2. Y is equals to how much for me? 2 into lambda into capital D by your small d. So like that, I can go on take for n is equals to 3, n is equals to 4, n is equals to 5. Up to like that, if I'm taking n is equals to your nth bright fringe, then y nth will be equal to how much? Y nth will be equal to n into lambda into capital D divided by your small d. So nth bright fringe is being calculated by the formula y nth is equals to n into lambda into capital D by your small d part of relation. So for nth bright point or fringe, fringe is nothing but of your, I'll tell you what is exactly the fringe. First, right now, remember that if I'm taking right now point P as of your bright point, then the first bright is being formed at a distance of central maxima. Then y is equals to lambda into capital D, then 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, go on like that one. So nth bright fringe can be calculated by the formula y nth is equals to n into lambda into capital D by your small d position of that one. Clear for everyone? Isn't it? In the same way, if I'm taking one more point, if at P we are getting a dark point. Dark point is nothing but what, beta? Destructive interference. Destructive interference. You already know the condition for destructive interference and constructive interference. Now for destructive interference, what is the path difference formula, beta? Delta x will be equal to how much for me? Delta x is equals to your 2n minus 1 into your lambda by 2, where n is equals to how much, beta? 1, 2, 3, go on like that one. Now delta x is nothing but what? D into sine theta. Sine theta is nothing but tan theta. That is equals to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. From the figure, tan theta is how much for me? D into y by your capital D is equals to 2n minus 1 into lambda by 2. That means I can get y dark is equals to 2n minus 1 into lambda, 2n minus 1 into your lambda into capital D divided by your small d. So this will be the position of your dark position or destructive interference in YDS experiment can be calculated by the formula y dark is equals to 2n minus 1 into lambda into capital D by your 2 times of your small d. This will become 2. 2 on the other right now. So this one is 2 times of your d. Sorry. So 2 on the kabati. So it is lambda by 2 into your d. That will be the position of your white dark. Now take n is equals to 1 beta. N is equals to 1. So y is equals to first dark. First dark. Where it will be forming, you see right now. Very carefully you see. N is equals to 1. So 2 into 1 minus is nothing but how much for me? 1. So that will become for me how much? D into lambda by 2d. Listen it very carefully. When n is equals to 2, y second dark is equals to, that is 3 lambda into capital D divided by your 2d. The same way, n is equals to 3. N is equals to 3. Y is equals to third dark will be equal to how much for me? 5 lambda into capital D by your 2D. So like that I can go on take for your n is equals to 2, n is equals to 3, n is equals to 4 particulation. For nth dark if I am taking n is equals to your nth dark. So y nth dark, y is equals to nth dark is equals to, nth dark is equals to nth dark is equals to how much beta? 2n minus 1 into lambda into capital D divided by 2 times of your small d. So this will be the position of your nth dark position. That will be the general formula. What is small d beta? Distance between S1 and S2, and capital D is the distance of the screen from the slit particulation. So these are the two important formulas you need to remember. Y nth bright will be equal to, this is y is equals to nth bright is equals to n into lambda into capital D by your d. Now see, where is the first bright forming beta? Lambda into capital D by your small d. Now see, where is the first dark is forming? First dark is forming at half of your d lambda by 2. That means between central maxima and first bright, there will be a dark. Like say for example, this is a central bright and this one is nothing but of your first bright. And in between this, there will be the first dark. Ante kada? Because from here to here, this distance is how much for me? D into lambda by your small d. First dark distance and right now for us, we got this distance is equals to D into lambda by 2D. That means exactly between the central maximum and the first bright, there will be the first dark. That means bright, dark, dark. That means maxima, minima. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it is been converting from maxima to minima and minima to your maxima particulation. So that are the things you need to remember in the YDSC conditions for this one. So try to come back once again right now for it better. So what we are talking about right now, in the coherent sources, I told you that coherent sources are nothing but any two sources of a light which continuously emits the light waves having the zero or the constant phase difference are called as coherent sources. And interference can occur only with your coherent sources. Two independent sources can never be coherent because even though they emit the light waves of equal wavelength, equal amplitude, they may not have a constant phase difference. So to obtain the interference, a single source is being used and its beam is being split into two or different ways. What are two different ways we are having in the syllabus is division of your wavefront. In this case, a wavefront is being divided into two parts by reflection, refraction or diffraction, so on. And these two parts reunite at a very small angle and reproduce the interference. The best experiments which have been based on the division of the wavefronts is Young's double slit experiment, Fresnel's biprism and Lyot's mirror particulation. Next one is by division of amplitude. It is in case of the division of amplitude by two parts by reflection and refraction, blah blah conditions. And in this one we are using the two basic experiments called as Newton's rings and Ayer bridges. This is not there in the syllabus, but for advanced level it will be asked for some cases. So in the last we'll be trying to study as an extra part for the Newton's rings and as well as of your Ayer bridges. Now in our syllabus for the mains and common for the NEET is your Young's double slit experiment, what we call it as YDSE. Young's double slit experiment, YDSE. Thomas Young was the first time demonstrated the interference of your effect. What he did is, he took a source of light, that is nothing but of your S. In front of that one, he kept a cardboard. And to the cardboard at a certain distance D, he kept a screen. And in the cardboard, like a paper, you take a pin, general pin part, and make it two holes. Pin size holes are being made on the cardboard. This one is right now for me what? A cardboard. A cardboard or a thin paper. S1 and S2 are acting as of your sources. The distance between them is known as of your D. Screen is kept at a distance of capital D, and this is the basic setup of your experiment. Here is totally right now air. This experiment can also be done in the air or in the water also better. At that time, what will be the condition? That is a different thing. Now the wave from the S1 will try to reach at a point P. The same way from the S2, it will try to go and reach at a point P. Now the distance of S1P and S2P is different. From S1 to P, if the distance is x1, from S2 to P, the distance will be x1 plus some extra distance, that is delta x. Now, how do we calculate that delta x? You see from the figure, I am dropping a perpendicular, which is making an angle of 90 degrees here. I have taken a free body diagram of this one, see here right now. So this distance is right now for me what? D. This distance is nothing but D. It is making an angle theta. This is 90 here right now. This is 90 minus theta. So if I resolve it, the horizontal component d sin theta is equal to dx. So these two are same right now. So delta x is our parallel property. Delta x is d sin theta. The other side is nothing but d cos theta. So right now between S1 and S2 part of relation, path difference is S2p minus S1p. Thus S2p minus S1p right now you see in the figure. S2p is larger, S1p is smaller. That minus that one if we do it, because x1 and x1 will get cancelled, that is delta x. So delta x is equals to S2p minus S1p. Therefore, delta x is equals to your, from that one, S2p minus S1p is equal to how much for me? D into your sin theta. Because this delta x from the figure I'm writing, d sin theta. As theta is very small, so sin theta is approximately to tan. So delta x is equals to d into your tan theta. Now tan theta from the figure you see right now how much for me? Vertical by horizontal. Horizontal is capital D, vertical is small d, small by. So delta x is equals to y d into y by your capital D. What is small d? Distance between the slits S1 and S2. Capital D is the distance of the screen from the slits. Now see, the point P, whatever I have taken here, that can be a constructive interference or destructive interference. I don't know. So let us try to take the two cases and try to do it. See, if at P we are getting a bright point, that is called as constructive interference. Now for bright point we know delta x is equals to how much beta? Delta x is equals to your n lambda. So delta x d sin theta, you know d sin theta, tan theta value is y by capital D. So simplifying it, we are getting the formula y is equals to n into lambda into capital D by your small d. If n is 0, y is also 0. That means bright point is being forming at 0. N is equals to 1, lambda d by your small d. N is equals to 2, 3, 4, go on like that one. So nth dark can be calculated by the formula n into lambda into capital D by your small d part of relation. Now if at P we are getting a dark point, suppose, then that point is called as a what? Destructive interference. So for destructive interference, we already know the formula. Delta x is equals to 2n minus 1 into your lambda by, where n is equals to 1, 2, 3, so on. Now delta x is a path difference. Delta x value is how much for me? D into tan theta. Tan theta is y by capital D from the figure. So 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. So simplifying it, we are getting y dark is equals to 2n minus 1 lambda into your capital D divided by 2 times of your small d. If n is equals to 1, first dark is be not at the center but above the center. So d lambda by 2 into your small d. The same way, see here right now, whatever is above this yellow line, the same thing is also below. That means if this is y, down also the y will be there. Isn't it? So the total distance between the two will be equal to how much for me? 2y. Okay, anyhow. Now for the dark point, what is the formula? Y dark is equals to 2n minus 1 into lambda into capital D by over 2 times of small d. So we got the formula for that one. So y-nth dark is equals to 2n minus 1 into your lambda into capital D by your small d part. Clear for everyone? Is it clear for everyone, beta? Is this part clear for everyone? Chat box lo cheppandi nana, lekapothe I'll try to help you out once again. YDSC experiment is nothing but an experimental setup to show the interference of the light. Where do we get a dark point and where do we get a bright point? That's it. Okay. Now let us try to draw the diagram for the understanding of more better condition. So no one is giving the answer. అర్థమవుతుందా లేదా అనేది కూడా ఏం వినిపించడం లేదు, అనిపించడం లేదు. బోర్డు పైన చెప్పినప్పుడు అయితే కనీసం ఆన్సర్లు అని ఇచ్చేవాళ్ళు. చలో, let us try to see this diagram better. కొంచెం టైం పడుతుంది. So let me, sorry. Yeah. This one is your screen. So this one is your screen and here is your cardboard. Okay. And yeah, this one is your source. From this source, the wavefronts are coming like this. Now I'm taking 2 small holes in this one. This is one slit, this is one slit. Okay. and this one is S1 and this one is S2. Distance between them is nothing but small d. And this one is your screen, this distance is your capital D. This one is your screen. Okay, now this one is your central maximum. So this one is your central maximum. From the source, the light is being going like this. The form of your wave and meets at a point of your P. The same way from S2 also, a wave is going like this and meet at a point P. Okay, that P may be a bright point or it may be a dark point, anything. And in the center part, we are having right now one more relation. Yeah, so this one is making an ink shape. I'll try to take. Yeah, and this is making a small angle right now. This one is nothing but theta. Okay, so this is traveling a distance of x1. This is traveling a distance of your x2. Distance between them is d, and this is your source. From this one, the wavefronts are being going like this. The spherical wavefronts are going like this and touches them. Now see, if the point wherever they are meeting, if it is a bright point, I am trying to draw with your white light beta. So if the point P right now, what I am getting is a bright point, something like this. Not getting it. Okay, so this is your bright point. Okay, and center also there is a bright point. Center ikkada enta bright point undo kinda kuda ante bright point. So this is also totally a bright point like this. So center will always be what beta? A bright point. Delta x will be equal to how much for me? 0. Okay, this is 0. So delta x is equals to 0. This will be your central maxima. Okay, now immediately it is been followed by what? First dark. Then again it is immediately followed by what? First bright. Again somewhere here there will be your bright. Down also immediately there will be bright. And last is again right now for me a bright of equal fringes beta, if equal distance, right? అంటే మిర్రర్ ఇమేజ్ అనుకోండి, పైన ఎంతైతే ఉంటుందో కింద కూడా అంతే ఉంటాయి. Okay, so this one is your bright point. Okay, this one is also your bright point. So these are representing right now for me what? Bright points, and the middle ones are nothing but of your dark point. That means constructive interference part of relation. So central maxima, I'll write here with red pen. This will be equal to what beta? First dark. On down also this one is first dark. Okay, the next one is, this one is your first bright, and this one is also your first bright. Central maxima tarvata. Dan tarvata, this one is right now for me second dark, and this one is also your second dark. Okay, the next one is right now for me, this one is second bright, and this one is also your second bright. Okay. So this is the way how an experimental setup of this being taken. A wavefronts is being divided. Again మనకి యాక్చువల్లీ రే డయాగ్రామ్ ఎలా అవుతుందంటే ఇక్కడ నుంచి వేవ్ ఫ్రంట్స్ ఇట్లా పోతుంటాయి. మీరు ఎస్సీఆర్టీ తీసుకొని చేయండి. సో దాన్ని మొత్తం ఇక్కడ మనం డ్రా చేయలేం కాబట్టి with one wave I have been taken and simplifying the basic condition right now. So first bright is formed at what position beta? First bright on either side is equal to how much one? Y into capital D lambda by your small d. And where is the first dark? You see beta, first dark is at what position? See here, first dark is at your y is equals to d lambda by 2 times of this one. That means half. That means half part of relation. Clear for everyone? And if maxima above the red line is 2, below is also 2, and middle one is 3. So what will be the total number of bright? It will be 5. Above 2, above it is 2, below is also 2, and the central one is nothing but 1. So total will become for me 5. If dark above are 2, below is also 2. So total dark will become only for me 4 part of relation. So I hope you got this idea right now. Is the diagram clear for everyone? Is the diagram clear for everyone? Chudandi. This experiment is known as of your YDSC, Young's double slit experiment. Now, when you do the same experiment in water, then what happens? That is a different condition right now. Okay. So, we'll define a term right now here. Fringe width, F-R-I-N-G-E, fringe width, represented by beta beta, represented by beta. It is nothing but, it is, try to understand the terminology very carefully. It is the separation, between two consecutive or two successive bright, or two successive dark points is called fringe width. Represented by beta. Okay, now see in the diagram, how do you represent the fringe width? Can anyone tell me? Distance between two dark and two bright. Like say for example, if I am taking this one, say for example, this is one bright and this is another bright. The distance between these two is known as of your fringe width, represented by beta. Or distance between two dark right now, if I am taking right now, like say for example, I'll try to draw here right now, between two successive darks. That means this is one dark and this is one dark. The distance between these two successive darks is known as of your fringe width, that is nothing but beta. Okay, or between two bright, anything above or below, anything. You can even take these 2 points beta. I can even take right now. This is one bright point, this is one bright point. The distance between these two is known as of what? Fringe width, represented by your beta. Isn't it? Now see the definition once again. It is the separation between successive bright or two successive dark points is called as of your fringe width, represented by your beta. Let us try to simplify this one beta. Beta is equals to xn minus of x minus 1. Whether you take the dark one or you take the bright one and simplify, you will get the answer one and the same. I'm taking the dark and simplifying beta. N into d lambda by your small d. For the n dark. Then for n minus 1, if I am trying to talk, it is n minus 1 into capital D into lambda by your small d. So what I'll be getting right now? N minus 1, n gets cancelled right now for this one. So this comes out for me. Beta is equals to your capital D lambda by your small d. So this is your fringe width formula. So fringe width is directly proportional to wavelength. Capital D and small d are constant, but capital D and small d are constant. Wavelength is changing. Because when you do the experiment in water, this is in the fringe width in where beta? In air. If YDSC is taken in water, I'll write here right now, keep a note. If YDSC is performed, in water, so fringe width will become for me how much? Fringe width in water is equals to d into wavelength lambda dash by your small d, because capital D small d is not going to change, but wavelength is going to change right now. You know the refractive index formula, mu is equals to c by v, isn't it? That is equals to your n into your lambda by your v is equals to your n into your lambda dash. So refractive index is equals to how much for me? Lambda by your lambda dash. That means I can write lambda dash is equals to right now. How do you write right now? Lambda by your mu, isn't it? So therefore I can write fringe width in your water will be equal to capital D into wavelength lambda dash will be equal to how much for me? Lambda divided by mu into small d. That means this will become for me fringe width in water. Fringe width in water is equals to 1 by mu times of your fringe width in your air. So this is the relation you need to remember. If YDSC is been, mu is nothing but what beta? Refractive index. Mu is nothing but what? Refractive index. Refractive index. Okay. So what is the fringe width? Basic formula. Fringe width in air is equals to how much for me? Capital D lambda by small d. Only lambda is changeable. Capital D and small d is nothing but same. If YDSC has been performed in your water, if it is performed in the water, fringe width in the water is equals to capital D small d without changing the separation of the screen and the slits. So capital D small d will remain for me same. So fringe width in the water will be equal to how much for me? Capital D into lambda by mu times of your small d. And you already know wavelength formula is equal to how much from the ray optics chapter? Lambda dash is equal to lambda mu. That value I'm substituting here. So I'm getting fringe width in the water is equal to 1 by mu times of your fringe width in your air part of the relation. Is that condition clear for everyone? So if fringe width is our double slit experiment is being performed in the water, fringe width in the water will become for me 1 by mu times of the fringe width in your air part of relation. I hope you're clear with this one, everyone. Is it clear for everyone, beta? Clear for everyone? Okay, so let us try to do one question. I'll get an idea. See here. A YDSC setup is immersed. A YDSC setup is immersed in water. Refractive index is mu is equals to 1.33. To stop. If it has slit separation, if it has a slit separation 1 mm and distance between slits and screen is 1.33 meters. Stop. Incident light on slits have wavelength 6300 angstroms. Find the fringe width on screen. Find fringe width on screen. Find fringe width on your screen. See the question carefully, everyone, once. A YDSC setup is now immersed in water, isn't it? So when it is been immersed in the wavelength water, wavelength in the water will be equal to how much for me? Wavelength in your air divided by your refractive index. Wavelength in air is how much for me? 6,300. 6,300 angstroms divided by refractive index is 1.33. Now in YDSC fringe width is given by how much beta right now? Fringe width beta is equals to wavelength in water capital D by your small d. That is beta in water raskunam manam basically, isn't it? That's fine. That is equals to, this one is 6300 into capital D value is how much for me? 1.33 into angstrom is 10 to the power of minus 10 divided by small d. Small d value is how much for me? 1 mm. That means that will become for me 1 mm. So that when value is equal to how much for me? 1 mm small d. Refractive index is equals to 1 mm small d capital D by your small d. Capital D value is how much for me? 1.33 and small d value is equals to how much for me? 1.33 into this one is 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Antena? Am I correct? 63 10 to the power of minus. Yes, sir. Okay, chalo. Okay, fine. So this is refractive index better. Lambda of W I have substituted this value. This total value I have substituted here. 1 angstrom is equals to this much. Then capital D value is equals to given in the formal problem. Capital D is equals to 1.33 is given. Small d is equals to 1 mm. So that will be equal to 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. So if I simplify this totally, you will be getting the answer right now. 1.33 will get cancelled. So this will become for me 6.3 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So that will be equal to 0.63 mm approximately. Yeah. So that will be the answer. So I hope this calculation you can do it out. No problem. Clear for everyone? Okay now? Sure. One more question. Good question. Little bit logic has been required in this one. In YDSC setup, find the distance. Find the distance between two slits that result in the third minima. That result in the third minima or minimum for 4,200 angstroms. 4,200 angstroms. Violet light at an angle 30 degrees. Okay. Take small d is very lesser than capital D. Okay, na beta? Now see here, theta is not very small. If theta was very small, path difference might have been taken what? Sin theta is equal to tan theta. But theta is not small here, so you can't approximate sin theta as of your tan theta part of relation. So I'll draw the diagram right now for you. This is your screen, and this is your right now the Young's double slit experiment. Okay, so this one is right now slit S1, and this one is your slit of your S2, and this one is your central maxima. So from this one, if I'm trying to draw the diagram, so from here there is one point here, point P, and here it is another point that is nothing but a pure P, and in the center if I'm taking this one, so this one is your right part of relation, and this one is making now an angle of your 30 degrees. This is your small d, and this distance is your capital D. Path difference is how much? At a point P on a screen difference. Path difference between the waves S1 and S2 is given how much for the formula? I'm writing that formula right now here. Delta x is equals to your d into your sine of your theta. So d value is how much for me? Can anyone tell me? So there is nothing but d into sine theta value is how much for me? 30 degrees. So that will become for me how much for me? D by 2. That is nothing but delta x. Now for third minima, delta x is equals to how much? You need to tell me. See, I'll take you back again. Somewhere here, dark, yeah. Y is equals to third. Y is equal to third dot. Is how much for me? 5 lambda by over 2d. Is that condition clear for me? That is nothing but of your delta. Now delta x I need right now. Delta x is equals to how much for me? Delta x is equals to how much for that part of relation? Delta x value already we know. What is the delta x value? Delta x is nothing but of your path difference. For the minima, path difference is, you know already the formula for that one. So I'm substituting that value right now. So delta x is equal to how much for me? 5 lambda divided by 2. Therefore, 5 lambda divided by 2 is equals to d by 2. So anything is getting cancelled in this one. This two will get cancelled. So small d is equals to 5 times of lambda. That is 5 into 4,200 into 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. So that comes out for me 2 5s are 10, 4 2s are 5, 4s are 20. So that is a 2.1 into 10 to the power of minus 6 meters. This will be your answer. Is it clear for everyone? Is this question clear for everyone? Adhamainda? Isn't it? Third minima ki delta x is equal to how much for me over? Delta x is equal to formula delta x is equal to 2n minus 1 into lambda by over 2 into your d. Isn't it? N is equal to how much for me right now for the third minima? Isn't it? 2 3 6, 6 minus 1, 5. So it is nothing but 5 lambda by over 2d part of relation. Clear for everyone? Path difference only I'm writing right now. So not d here right now. It is only the two parts. So it is only your 2, isn't it? So that is the reason I got this is nothing but 2 into 3 minus 1 into lambda divided by 2. So that is nothing but 6 minus 1 into lambda by 2. So that is the reason I got 5 lambda by 2 right now. This is a path difference. So this value I have taken right now here and simplified it. Clear for everyone? అర్థమైందా? అర్థం కాలా? Is it clear for everyone? No response. So I hope we have been clear with your today's session of a class. I also recorded this lecture. I'll try to upload it as early as possible on the YouTube. You please try to go through it. And I hope a lot of students might have been done these questions, answers in the previous sessions, which I have given you. And a lot of the students also got correct answers. So very good. Or do I need to do them? If you let me know, I can do it out. That's not a problem for me. Shall I do these problems better? Or else you got the answers for these questions? Okay, chalo. Yes, sir. Okay, chalo. All of you then got. If you have any doubt, please let me know on the WhatsApp group. I'll try to help you out with that all questions. So today's session of a class, we have done with your Young's double slit experiment. Please try to read it out from your NCERT. Okay, so I'll try to. I'm uploading all the videos whichever I'm teaching you on your YouTube better. Even if you're interacting with me, if you're talking to me, you can also listen your voices. That's not an issue. But I'm as it is, I'm trying to upload this video in your YouTube for the reference. So whenever you can have a reference or you doubt, you can just try to go back and try to revise it and come back and try to do the problems. In tomorrow's session of a class, we'll try to keep 1 hour class only for the numericals based on YDSC and small concept of your how to calculate the number of your fringes. Then we'll try to keep our discussion only for the numericals, some good questions from your Hesse Verma part affiliation. Okay, so please try to read this concept one from your Hesse Verma, and please try to have a very clear cut idea about your Young's double slit experiment and fringe width part affiliation, and we'll try to go for more cases in the further section. But tomorrow we'll try to give more important for your numerical approach of this topic for your competitive examinations. And I'll try to see that some of the national talent exam NTA examinations which have been recently released are in that one also, whatever the problems are there on YDSC, that also I'll try to discuss in this coming sessions with you. Okay, so I'm ending the session better. Take care. Bye.